What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing Pharrell's latest sneaker with Adidas, the Adidas Pharrell Solar Hue Glide. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Today is a very special day because today is October 1st. And the day of the month itself really isn't actually that important. But what's actually important is today I'm announcing a brand new giveaway that I'm doing through the entire month of October. I'm not gonna tell you guys what sneakers I'm giving away yet, but keep in mind it is gonna be a Halloween themed giveaway. So that might get the gears turning a little bit. But like the last big giveaway that I did for the Off-White Nike Prestos, which actually were won by someone in the Isle of Man, so congrats to him. This giveaway is not gonna be for something small and stupid. It's actually gonna be for something pretty exciting. So before I slip up and ruin the surprise, make sure you subscribe down below because I am going to be talking more about the giveaway in upcoming videos in the very near future. Also, I may be dropping some hints on Instagram and on Twitter, so make sure to give me a follow over there at @RealSethFowler. The reason for this giveaway is to thank you guys for the incredible support that you've shown me and the channel over the last couple years. It's been crazy. And honestly, I thought a dope Halloween themed giveaway would be pretty cool as well. So that's another reason. But with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. Over the last couple years, Pharrell and Adidas have been working together to create a pretty incredible collaboration, dropping iconic sneakers like the Pharrell Human Race NMDs and the NMD Trails. Those of course weren't the only sneakers he dropped with Adidas, he also dropped some versions of the Tennis Hue. But now Pharrell has gone on to take his creativity to another Adidas silhouette, the Solar Glide. So far 3 colorways of the sneaker have dropped throughout September. It's not as limited as people thought, but it is still a relatively limited sneaker. I personally grabbed the white pair from Roadrunner Sports, so without further ado, here it is, the Adidas Pharrell Solar Hue Glide. Starting off with the design of the shoe, the first thing that you probably noticed was that the base construction is that of the Adidas Solar Glide. This is the same sort of thing that happened with Pharrell on the NMDs, although not as drastic. Like the Human Race NMDs, Pharrell saw a silhouette that he liked and decided to change it up and make it his. So this is generally the same sneaker as the regular Solar Glide, however there are a couple aesthetic changes that make it a little bit different. Jumping right into the materials, on the toe of the sneaker, we've got this pretty thick white mesh. There's perforations that run down the toe in this linear pattern. That sort of differentiates this mesh from the rest of the mesh on the sneaker. Of course, as I'm sure you've already seen, you've got this giant HU embroidered in black on the toe of both shoes. That's the Pharrell Human Race logo that he adds on all his sneakers. Moving up on the shoe, you've got this diagonal stitching that runs all the way across the toe that separates the 2 different kinds of mesh. The mesh in the midfoot portion and the tongue of the shoe is slightly more padded and also looks like it's a couple different layers of mesh. The outermost layer is this thin, sort of tightly knit mesh, and then underneath that you've got this slightly wider space, sort of foamy mesh. Also not that important, but just something that I noticed. The actual color of the meshes does seem to change ever so slightly. The mesh on the toe seems to be more of a true white, whereas the mesh in the midfoot has sort of more of a cream color. Like I said, not that important, just something that I noticed. As you continue up the shoe, you've got these sort of neoprene bright red panels. Obviously, that's not something that you find on the regular Solar Glide and is purely a Pharrell touch. As you can also probably see, these panels house the eyelets for the laces. The shoe comes pre-laced with these white rope laces with gray accents. As we've come to expect from most Pharrell sneakers, this pair comes with 2 extra colors of laces just in case you don't like the white pair. On the white colorway of the shoe, the 2 different color laces that you get are dark forest green and dark maroon. A cool touch that I didn't notice until just now is that at the end of the laces, on the lace tips, you've got these maroon 3 stripes. Another interesting detail about this red panel that can be found only on the lateral side is this odd sort of piece of yellow felt that kind of peeks out underneath it. Not sure the reason for that. I would assume it's purely aesthetic. I don't think it does anything, but to be honest, I'm not mad at it. At the top of the tongue, you've got this glossy Adidas logo in black. Inside the sneaker, the white colorway is actually the only of the 3 colorways to feature this East African print that was also on the Pharrell NMDs that released a couple months ago. It's actually a really beautiful red, green, black, and yellow print, and I kind of wish it was on all the colorways and not just the white one. The heel sock liner comes in white mesh, and then rounding off the inside of the shoe, instead of your regular foot reflexology chart that you usually have on Pharrell sneakers, instead you've just got your standard black boost insole. I'm not sure the reason for the change. Maybe it's just because that's what the Solar Glide comes with and they didn't want to change it up, but for whatever reason, that's what it is. As for fit, the Solar Hue Glide does fit generally true to size. I actually went up half a size in this pair because the true to size version of this shoe is relatively tight and I wanted something a little bit looser, especially because I'm wearing this just for lifestyle, but you should be totally fine wearing this true to size as well. As you continue back on the sneaker, you get to this green sort of felt feeling accent. On the center of this panel, you've got the white Hue logo debossed into the material. On the medial side of the shoe, you also have that same panel, except this time in red with no logo. Continuing back on the sneaker, you get to this dark forest green heel cup with no branding on it whatsoever, and then the heel of the upper is rounded off in this white mesh with triangular perforations. Moving down to the midsole of the sneaker, you get to the signature Solar Glide rails, this time in dark maroon, and just beneath that, of course, you've got your really nice Boost midsole. If you haven't actually seen my regular Solar Glide review, I definitely suggest checking it out because I talk about this midsole in depth, so if you feel like checking that out, make sure to click the link at the top of the screen. If you've never worn a pair of Solar Glides before, one thing to keep in mind is that this Boost midsole is not as comfortable as a regular Ultra Boost. One little detail that I really liked about this sneaker is that where the torsion system wraps up onto the midsole, it comes in that same sort of mustard yellow that you have on this accent on the midfoot of the shoe. That's just a really nice subtle way of tying this colorway together. Finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this black webbed continental rubber outsole with this mustard yellow torsion system in the midfoot. To finish things off, my honest thoughts on the Adidas Solar Hue Glide is that for $150, it's not a bad shoe. This is definitely not my favorite Adidas Pharrell collaboration. That spot is obviously held by the Pharrell NMDs, but I think it's really cool that Pharrell is working on another Boost sneaker like the Solar Glide, which has a lot of potential and there aren't a lot of colorways out in the market. If you are trying to grab a pair of the Pharrell Solar Hue Glides for yourself, they have unfortunately sold out at retail, but you can find them at resellers like StockX.com. But that about wraps up the video for today. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Adidas Solar Hue Glide and which colorway is your favorite, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't yet to learn more about this upcoming giveaway. I'm pretty excited about it. Again, I will be dropping hints on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler, so make sure to give me a follow over there as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.